So we have from him substance use probably, or he's something's going through his system that ain't making his head right. But he's doing this kind of push-pull dynamic, which is a telltale abusive behavior where you're kind of mean, then you're nice, mean, then you're nice, kind of a jarring whiplash sort of emotional roller coaster he's putting her through. But what we have here is this like blatant repeat boundary violation by him, and he's like literally pushing himself in the door, trying to get a booty call probably, and he's grabbing her wrist I saw on her hand, tried to kiss her, I think. But he has this entitlement to access to her. So sometimes in relationships, people have this belief that we have entitlement to our exes because we've been with them romantically, emotionally, etc. And that's just not true, obviously. So clear entitlement from him, obviously coming through in that situation. And then he seems to be ruminating obviously about their past relationships. It's called rumination, externalization. I'm ruminating and kind of thinking about the past for whatever reason, whatever triggered that train of thoughts for him that evening. And now I'm going to externalize that on you because you're a shared person in this story. And I want you to also ruminate with me as well. So, very clear from this guy in that case as well, with his kind of hoovering behavior where he's showing up and kind of, again, trying to get his claws back in her essentially through these manipulative things that he's doing. You have a lot of minimization of his own behavior. You know, he's talked about, "Oh, I cheated on you once with Clementine or whoever." And then you brought up the other situations where, and she brought up that she was cheating on him for only half the time during a breakup period, whatever. He's minimizing his own behavior and then calling her out and being verbally abusive towards her. So the double standards are kind of another way of thinking about that as well. And then some guilt inducing appeals. So he's like using that as an attempt to use that to get her to let him in and probably sleep with him, I'm guessing, from those different sort of appeals towards kind of their past relationships, this justification, all these sort of rationalizations he's propping up to her. And it looks like she didn't bite, and it looks like she showed him the curb, so I'm happy it didn't escalate further into a bad situation, 'cause, in these situations, people get shot, they get stabbed, and this is where people come to me from domestic violence cases, because domestic violence isn't just a current boyfriend or girlfriend, it's also a past. So anybody with a previous romantic relationship, and there's some situation, some harm that happens, that's a domestic violence scenario, even if it's 3 years after the fact. So I can't tell you how many cases that are fairly similar to what we just saw here that I've seen and kind of worked with the guy side to like make them see maybe this isn't a healthy thing to do and maybe we should let people move on with their life because you're not entitled to them anymore.